She's a winner.
And welcome to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, where you take enlightened entrepreneurs, coaches, and influencers together to discuss cutting-edge topics in the world of relationships, culture, business, and spirituality. And here's your host, Miss Carol Boston.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show. I don't know if you just caught that last picture, but I was actually holding up a glass of bourbon. Right now, I would love to be doing that. How many of you know sometimes life just throws you curveballs? It doesn't care if it's the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, or the end of the year. We're going to talk a little bit today about how all business is still show business, and we get to hit the curveballs. But one of the things you know about me, if you follow me, is I'm your weather girl. And oh my goodness, it's really gotten gray and cloudy and overcast here in Fort Lauderdale. We have had the most amazing 4 days of weather. 50, it got down to 49 one night, and I am back on the New River. How many of you were watching me when I was dog sitting for Oscar and Kramer? I always want to say Oscar and Felix, right? Remember that show, The Odd Couple? But it's Oscar and Kramer back here on the water. It's just been beautiful every day, but we've got some rain coming in. Going to change our weather just a little bit. And I'm still looking out on a gorgeous, gorgeous river, though. When you comment in the chat, let me know where you're chiming in from and what the weather's like where you are. How many of you enjoyed your New Year's Eve? I don't know what possessed me. I was about to say 4th of July. Holy mackerel, I'm moving ahead. I'm not ready for the year to go by that fast. Are you? New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. It was quiet here for me, and I like it like that. I don't know about you, but I'm an early to bed, early to rise girl. And one of the things I did love about the weekend, though, is on Monday, my LSU Fighting Tigers won their bowl game 35-31 without the benefit of their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, who opted out so he wouldn't get hurt before he went pro. There were so many games where so many of the guys opted out or got in the transfer portal, and one of the games was a blowout, 63-3. Like, who wants to watch that? But I love the fact that the commentator said it was the best bowl game they had seen up until that point. Now, let's give credit where credit's due. The two playoff games for the final two spots were played later that day, and they were both phenomenal games. One of them was won in overtime by a touchdown, and the other one by just 3 or 4 points. So we're almost at the end of college football season, so I get to come up with something else to chat about because I love college football. Oh my goodness. If you're a college football fan, put that in the chat. And I'm just going to open up by saying that we are looking for more guests. We've always had a steady stream of guests last year. I don't know. Maybe it's the holidays. Whatever it is, if you're interested in being a guest on this show, private message me. We'll give you the link to go sign up, make sure you qualify, and what day we can get you on so that you too can have an impact on the world. How long? How long are you willing to sit in the waiting room? Did you know that I ran this show for Max for a year? For a year before it became my show. And I was surprised when it became my show. Come on, those of you who know Max, I love Max to death. I figured, well, I'm just doing good in the world. But it's my show now. And I'm really ready for us to make a huge, huge impact on the world. You know, we were talking about curveballs earlier, and the thing that I was reminded of, now I'm going to date myself. Yes, I'm 64 years old. But back in the day, there was a singing group called The Honeycomb. And one of the songs they sang was, "One Monkey Don't Stop No Show." Right? One monkey don't stop no show. Are you letting one monkey get in the way of what you want to do? We're looking at the book today, All Business is Still Show Business. This is the Intuitive Entrepreneur. And those of you who follow me know, until this whole COVID thing hit and I got online and started meeting all these intuitive people, I had no clue about intuition or being intuitive. And I've been working on it and practicing it. Actually, it showed up in Is it possible to manifest cards in a card game? Oh my goodness. I was playing cards with my best friend, Dr. Ross, over the holiday. And one time I said this, well, if you just, I'm thinking in my mind, just give me the 2 of clubs and I'm going to win. And I got the 2 of clubs. I thought, damn, I'm going to try that again. And it happened several more times that day. So I began to look at, how can I say this? What level of vibration was I operating at that worked? That if I were to operate at that level of vibration in the world all the time, I could make an even greater impact in the world. Have you asked yourself that question? How many of you feel you're very intuitive? One of the things I've also been doing is I have a friend, and every Monday she makes a post. She's very highly intuitive. And it's 3 cards that she's pulled. You don't see what's underneath the card. And above each card is a stone. I don't know, a blue one, a white one. Sometimes they're odd shaped, sometimes they're oval, whatever. And you're supposed to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and trust your intuition and pick the one that you think is right for you. She does this on Monday mornings. And then at the end of the day, she goes back, turns the cards over, and gives you the readings. Now, lately, it's been amazing that I keep picking the right card. Is that intuition? She seems to think so. I'll even go read the other ones and go, oh, yeah, man, those aren't for me this week at all. Pretty cool, huh? Jeff said you didn't have a block towards the cards. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm serious. If COVID hadn't hit and I hadn't lost my job and I was still in corporate America, I would know nothing about intuition and vibrations and the secret and manifestation and all these things that I'm learning that I really hope to put to good use. I love my buddy Jeff. I am so glad he is here today. And I already know it's cold where he is up in Detroit, but he knows I'm the weather girl too. As a matter of fact, perhaps what I might do is bring Jeff on this show and interview Jeff. If you don't follow him, you get to do that. LinkedIn, Facebook, putting out a lot of great TikTok videos. Jeff says it is 35 degrees and rainy. Well, I think it's about 72 here, so double what yours is, and it's about to rain for the next couple of days. But we could use the rain. I was just telling him earlier, Jeff, I've been so blessed to be at this house right here on the river. And, I don't think I posted a morning sunrise picture yesterday. It's absolutely gorgeous. But this is where I dog sat back in September for 2 weeks and posted a bunch of pictures. Just a gorgeous place. Oh, Jeff, I told you I love to catch fish. I haven't done it in years. We're talking about self-care and doing things we enjoy. So I called the neighbor, Eileen, whom I know from the Women's Executive Club. She introduced me to this dog sitting gig. And I said, did you get all your fishing rods? I call them poles. I'm from the South. Did you get all your fishing poles untangled? And she said, no, the grandkids didn't come down and do it. And yet last night when I had something on the grill, I'm looking across the water at this other house. And Jeff, there are fish jumping out of the water. I'm like, oh my God, come do that over here so I can see you up close. Where's my fishing pole? I don't know what it is about fishing, but there's something that just, Jeff said, did I tell you that I found the property for orange dragonfly? You did. Feel free to tell us a little bit more about it. It's about 25 minutes southeast of New Orleans. For those of you who are not from there, it's New Orleans, but no, it's New Orleans, right? Port something. It's on Port something. You got about 8 acres. You're going to be able to rent out acreage to people who are in RVs, as well as have the campsite for retreats. And you think you've got a pool. You're not sure yet. Might be a pond. If it is, I hope it's a fishing pond. Jeff says, yeah, it is in Port Sulphur and there is a pool. Fantastic. Y'all keep following Jeff. Keep watching Jeff. He's going to be doing great things with what he's going to be doing with his retreats and his whole Dragonfly Center. If you don't know what that is or who that is, private message Jeff. His name's right here. Anything you want to talk about, Jeff? I love having a dialogue. I have my Ayanla book. I did want to talk about intuition, which I already did. And I do want to talk about bringing on cool guests. If you don't want to be a guest and you know somebody who would be a cool guest on this show, please send them my way or tag me or connect us in a private message. I always want to bring value. Jeff said, and it's on the river, so you can come fish. Sweet. I love to catch fish. So when this book was sent to me, All Business is Still Show Business, the first thing I thought, how many know when we come up with judgments right away, it's not about anybody else, it's about us. So the first thing I thought was, does that mean it's fake? Does that mean it's not truthful? Does that mean people are just putting on a show and you're not getting, or you're not going to get what they say you're going to get? And as I got into the book, which I have not finished, to be candid, I have quite a few books that I haven't finished. Not quite sure what's underneath that, but I rarely finish a book these days. Now, there is one book that I'm reading for the third time. So I finished that book a couple of times. And you've heard me talk about The Last Arrow. If you haven't read The Last Arrow and you want to be inspired and motivated, that's the book. So I was looking at this, and one of the things he talked about in here was creating emotional connections. Right? That's what show business does. The shows that you like, the movies that you love. How many of us love Hallmark Christmas movies? It's that it doesn't matter that we know, literally, it doesn't matter that we know it's going to have a good ending. Every single one of them has a good ending. As a matter of fact, I was very excited when I got to this house, and on the recordings, they had about 12 Christmas movies, 8 of which I didn't get to watch this year, right? But it creates an emotional connection. Is your business creating that emotional connection? Folks, people buy on emotion. They justify with logic. Jeff says, intuition is the only reason I'm even looking at this place. I saw a TikTok. I got to put on my glasses, dude. I saw a TikTok about government sites, went on, and it was the first place that was listed. I know, and you were telling me that it brought tears to your eyes and your hair on your arms was standing up. You really, really just got to know. Even when you were explaining it to me on the phone the other day, you get this overall feeling that this is the right place. So, yeah, look at that. It's right there on your screen. Intuition. He just knew. Jeff said, yep, every time I think about it, there was tingles. Tingles. Now, even when my intuition works, I haven't gotten the tingles. So we can all note that Jeff is really, really in tune, right, with his feelings and his intuition. And he's helping to create less drama in the world. If you've got a lot of drama and chaos going on around you, you get to not only follow Jeff, but participate in some of his shows and what he's doing. I know he has another one coming up tomorrow evening. I cannot attend as I have a board meeting, but reach out to Jeff. He's right there. Just ping him. Jeff said, I had to learn to be intuitive. I'm in that process. Your friend and my good friend Max said something to me today about more meditation. I wrote back, yeah, that's an area of growth for me too. Oh my God, to turn my brain off. How many of us are like me, right? Tell me, Yana, Carol, you are not alone. My brain just doesn't turn off. Jeff said, "Last out." It's true. I made something about made a comment about intuition in the thread. You can see it, Jeff. You're included in the thread. And Max came back and said, "I'm getting jokes from you. Meditation, and I'm like, "That's an area of growth for me." Jeff said, "Yana, you are not alone." Thank you so much. I appreciate hearing that. And even when I'm super tired, sometimes, depending on what's going on in my world, I don't turn off. So night before last, I went to bed about 10:15. And I woke up at 1:30. That was it. That was it. I had a phone call that was very, very stressful that I get to work on. And then last night, very similar circumstance, but I had found out that my dad had a mini stroke and a major stroke. And I found that very stressful. We are about, 1,000 miles apart by car. I don't know how far by plane. And I haven't seen him, even though I talk to him every week on the phone. That's how I knew something was up. I called him Sunday before the LSU game, called him Monday after the LSU game, called him Monday night. and called him on Tuesday, nothing, until I sent a text to my older brother. Jeff said, meditation doesn't turn off the brain. It gives you space between you and your thoughts. Ooh, my thoughts are pretty crowded. That would be a good idea, Jeff. I love Jeff. He knows all this cool stuff. All this cool stuff. So in show business, what do? They connect our emotions. What are you doing in your content, in your posts, whether you do a blog, a newsletter, a podcast, a show? What do you do to create that emotional connection? And can you do it in the first 30 to 60 seconds? 30 to 60 seconds. I'm excited that I'm being trained. I wouldn't call it a new modality. The acronym for it is BANK. It stands for Blueprint, Action, Nurture, and Knowledge. And it's different from any of the DISC profiles or anything that you've done because it studies why people buy, not how to sell. It looks at the underlying values and behavior as to why people buy. And I have a tool that I could send you the link. I mean, if you were really, 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 really slow, it would take you 2 minutes or less. And within 90 seconds, I can predict your code, your code. I happen to be an NBKA. I'm nurture first. Those of you who know me know that. I'm all about people. I love inspiring people. I love giving hope to people. I love teaching, training, encouraging, being a cheerleader for people. That's my dominant. My second one is B. And that's blueprint, right? About organization, being on time, following the rules. K is knowledge. And in that position, that's your stressor position. When I learned that, I said, that is so true about me. Under duress, under especially emotional duress, I will go immediately to knowledge. What does that mean? That means I take myself out of my feelings and I get into the facts. I get into the logical. I get into the analytical and I stay in my head. One of the things Jeff's been trying to get me to do for how long, Jeff? Is to stay in my feelings and stay in my heart. And so I get to learn to be aware of when I'm doing that, right? John Corbellini in the house. He says, hello, gorgeous. Jeff says, you, a rule follower. And in capital letters, he puts never. You can see it on the screen. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Mr. Corbellini. Did you miss an awesome training yesterday? I hope you can make it tomorrow. I'm already working on making changes to my 2024 business plan based on what I learned yesterday. I look forward to tomorrow. And there's going to be a bonus session on Friday that I'm reaching out to some people to make sure I get notes because she's going to give us her hack. Who is she? She is Cherry Tree. I'm serious. C-H-E-R-I, last name is Tree, not C-H-E-R-R-Y like the fruit, Cherry Tree. Phenomenal story about how she created this code breaker system and what it's done for people. I had a conversation earlier today with a gentleman who didn't understand. He's in real estate and he had a 37% closing ratio, 37% in real estate in Las Vegas, right? High net worth people. And he learned like his non-dominant code is B, blueprint. And when he learned how to break the code of people, he found that the vast majority of people that were coming to him were blueprints. So he learned how to speak their language. And he said it on the call today, on the Zoom, that once he learned the bank system, within 1 year, his closing ratio went from 37% to 80%. How many of you would like to go from 37% to 80% in your close ratio? It also lets you easily pick out those people that you don't want to work with. Let's face it. Everybody's not for me and I'm not for everybody. And I don't want to work with everybody, right? That's why there's so many opportunities in the world. John Coberlin says, right on, Jeff. I agree with you. Carol makes the rules, never follow. Carol makes the rules and never follow. What? That is not true. Oh my goodness. Love you two guys. Jeff's up there in freezing Detroit and John's over on the west coast of Florida. Probably a little bit cloudy and rainy there too. But let's think about that. Think about that in your business as we go into the new year. Do you have your business plan? Have you backed into your numbers from annual to quarterly to monthly to weekly to your daily goals? Are you willing to set your intentions every day? Remember, we don't own our goals, folks. They're outside of us, but we do own our intention every day. I had a call with a client today. I don't know if I shared with you, I've been hired to be the business coach in a high-end mastermind. The mastermind is not about business, but a part of what it teaches can help you in your business. And at the end of the call, this lady looked at me and she said, "Oh, I get it." It's our second session. She said, "The very thing that I get my clients to see, my clients keep wanting to see it's something they get to do on the outside." She said, "But I get to help them see that it's the work on the inner, it's the inner work that gets to be done." And she looked at me in the Zoom and she said, "That is exactly what you're showing me about me." Exactly. Folks, none of us can coach ourselves. We're all in a jar. You can't read the label when you're inside the jar, but the person outside of your jar can read your label, just like I do for my clients, and help you write a new label so you can throw an anchor into your future and let go of that story that's holding you in the past. One monkey don't stop no show. We all get curveballs. Are you willing to stay in the batter's box? And what are you willing to do to have what you say you want? I said to this young lady, I said, "Well, what one thing could you stop doing that would free up enough time for you to do blah, 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 so that you can have what you say you want?" Right? I invited John to this training that was yesterday, and it's this Thursday, and the bonus is on Friday. Because Cherry Tree is a master of sales, and so is Eric Lofholm. I'm confident John knows who Eric is because he worked with Tony Robbins for many, many, many years. Many years. So one of the things I wrote down is he said, "I have what I call lock-in goals. They're non-negotiable. They don't have to be just about business and money. They can be about your health. They can be about relationships, but they are locked in. Like, these are non-negotiables. I will do whatever it takes to make these happen." And one of the things that was cool that he said that he is committed to reviewing them 5 times a day. And he encouraged those of us who had not been doing something quite like this to at least go for 3 times a day. And that one of the things you could do is for $5, hire somebody from Fiverr, give them your lock-in goals, have them create some cool little thing, and you keep it as the screensaver on your phone. How many of us? He read off a statistic that people look at their phones 2,600 times a day. I do not do that. It's just not possible. Oh, I thought I'm going to keep count one day. Some days I'll go, today's one of those days, back to back to back calls, trainings and calls, coaching calls. And now here that I don't look at my phone for hours. But if it were there, I could focus and set my attention every time I saw it. Tell me what you think of that idea. John says, "Yes, I do know who Eric is. He'll be there again tomorrow. And if you're watching this on #replay, put it in #replay. You get to go through me, so it doesn't cost you any money. On Eventbrite, it's $199 for the training. Private message me. Let me know." We are quickly coming upon our end of time today. A little bit of an unusual discourse. We're starting off the year with curveballs. How many of you are in a season of waiting for that breakthrough? Right? We get to ask ourselves the questions. Am I willing to get in line and stay in line? And how long can I hold the vision? Jeff said, "I have my goals on my lock screen." You're a step ahead of me. Does it look cool, or is it just verbiage? He was saying hire somebody from Fiverr so they can make it look cool. I don't know that my screen needs to look cool, but, or maybe they made it easily readable. I don't know. I'll reach out to you, Jeff. You can tell me. So this is the year Do you have a theme for the year? Do you have a word for the year? I have 2 words for this year. It's discipline and focus. John said the old version of me had a habit, capital letters, of waiting. My word for 2024 is action. Awesome. Awesome. Let me know what I can do to support you in that. You know I love you and I wish you huge success in the coming year. Jeff said it is a Canva. Oh, I know a little bit about Canva, just enough to be dangerous. Oh, just enough to be dangerous. Jeff said paradise. Paradise. That's Jeff's word for the year, paradise. He's going to create paradise in his Orange Dragonfly Center. And I can't wait to go catch a fish. I'm going to say it one more time. If you'd like to be interviewed on the show, if you know you have something valuable to add to the world, DM me. We will send you the link for the application. We're here every Wednesday at 3:00. The first Wednesday of the month is typically when I'm here on my own. The other Wednesdays of the month, we'd love to have guests. We'd love to have dialogue. We're going to be doing a lot more promotion. So if you're here, share this out. And let's go out and change the world. One life, one heart at a time. If you're someone who has been stuck and sitting in inaction and you're ready to make 2024 your best year, let's have a conversation. You can even talk to some of my past clients and talk about the radical change in 6 months that they had working with me. I'm Carol Boston, the Queen of Reframe, your leadership and sales empowerment coach. Thank you for sitting there with me, kicking off 2024. Come back next week. This is the year of change. I think I'm going to reframe that and say it is a year of positive, permanent change. Not just any kind of change, because some change we might not like. So let's create what we want. Positive, permanent change. Blessings to each and every one of you. Until next week, go in peace and create the life that you want. Take care.
One of the biggest challenges for coaches, practitioners, and hypnotherapists is getting clients. As coaches ourselves, we know how difficult it is on social media to stand out and gain credibility. That is why at Life Coaching Today, we connect coaches like you with clients. It all starts with our directory, where it's possible to create a profile that gets the right exposure with over 12,000 hits a month. You can gain credibility by writing for Life Coaching Today magazine, add videos, be interviewed on our podcast, teach classes in the community, and sell your products directly from our website. Not to mention, we actually connect clients who are actively searching for coaches who can best serve them. So if you are struggling to get clients, have Life Coaching Today help you get more clients. Go to lifecoachingtoday.com.
Thank you for listening to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, brought to you by Life Coaching Today magazine, empowering your health, your business, your community, your life. Check out the latest issue today at lifecoachingtoday.com. Everyone here at the True Awesome Network asks you to please subscribe, like, comment, and spread awesome.